Welcome back to our live studio from Interpack. If you are here at the fair, come and join us at Eingang Nord on the upper floor in between halls 7 and 9. And we are now going to talk about another theme and topic that falls into two of the hot topics of this fair. Circularity and saving resources are two of these hot topics of this year's Interpack. And we are now going to talk about reusable packaging and I guess the broader theme of sustainability. I am joined by Uwe Melichar, Vice President of the European Brand and Packaging Design Association. Welcome.
Thank you, Julia. Great to be here. It means a lot to me. And I'm looking forward to talk about reusable packaging with you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to talking about it as well. Thank you so much for being here. Apart from being Vice President of the, I have to read this out, epda, you also have your own company.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, sure.
Maybe you can tell us a bit more about you as a person and what you do in your daily business life.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a package designer from my background, and I've focused since about 7-8 years. I'm focusing fully on sustainable packaging. Comes from my heart, and it's also a big topic for our society. And I'm not running a big studio with many employees, but I'm working together with my bros, Melichar bros. So my brothers and sisters. I don't have real brothers and sisters, but I have environmental scientists, I have 3D designers, I have communication designers, and together we're working for clients, doing consultancy, but also really developing packages from scratch or redesigning the ones that exist to make them more sustainable.
So a real network of experts coming together to, like you said, design good sustainable packaging. I'm guessing this is not your first Interpack. How does it feel to be back?
Oh, it feels really good. I mean, it makes a big difference if you can touch the packages, the materials, if you can talk face-to-face to people. Really, it's another quality of exchange, although we learned a lot for our digital, talks and so on, but being back is good, feels good.
Yeah, that's the impression you get from all over the fair. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. The headline for this talk is Reuse beats recycling, keep the whole packaging in the loop. Tell me, why is reuse king?
Well, let's start from the very beginning. I mean, I talked to some colleagues some time ago, and they said, hey, we're fed up with decorating waste. And if you look at it from this perspective, packaging most often becomes waste very soon. And if we can extend the lifetime of a package, then we have a big impact on environmental issues.
Yeah, it's a big claim when you already were here at 12 for our German talk and you said this already, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense, but it's kind of a harsh way to put it.
Yeah, it's beyond material and machines. I mean, sure, you can replace material A by material B, but if we really can extend the life and having it in the loop a couple of times, being refilled, being cleaned, that does not apply to each and every package. It depends a lot on transportation, on volume, on the retail channels, but in many cases it offers a huge possibility to make it more sustainable. And if you look at it from a designer's perspective or from a brand owner's perspective, 80% of the decisions at the very beginning have a huge impact on the result in terms of sustainability or circularity. This is the better word from my point of view.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a bit about the trends in reusable or sustainable packaging that you are seeing right now.
Yeah, it's growing, and that's good. It started off with the reusable packages in the food-to-go or drink-to-go market. Well, powered from the EU as well. So there is this directive from the 1st July or 3rd July in 2021, I think. So there's a lot going on, but the reality is not always what the system promises. I've just back when I've been to the train station. I asked for a reusable cup, and they said, I don't know where they are. Nobody asked for them. I've been asked last time 3 weeks ago, and that's that's reality, but it's a learning process. People have to change their mind and ask better for a real cup or a glass or something they can take and drop somewhere else. And that does not only apply to these to-go food packages, but also for e-commerce packaging, for packages that you can find in the supermarkets, in the stores. There are many systems, and if you ask me what's this most sustainable solution, I can only say it depends. Depends on many factors.
Yeah, we see this all of the time when it's about life cycle assessments. What is better, the one-way cup or the reusable cup, or looking at other systems? It always depends. It's hard to say.
And it depends a lot on who is doing the LCA.
Yeah, but also really on like customer behavior. I mean, I might talk from personal experience here, but I sometimes have 3 reusable cups that are actually part of a system where I could go and give them back, lying at home for like half a year, and then I'm guessing it's not really that sustainable.
But good to hear that you're into it, and
Definitely.
we need more people participating. And the system is not new, especially in Germany. We have a long tradition with especially beverage containers, means bottles. Mm-hmm. So already in 1903, 120 years ago, some brewers from Frankfurt area started a deposit system. Well, and this is something which is not usual all around the globe. In many countries, you don't have these systems in place.
Tell us a bit more about these markets. How do they differ maybe from the German market and our Pfandsystem?
Yeah, it's not unique. I mean, you find similar systems in various countries. I also brought a map where you can see where it's already in place and where not so far. But for example, North America, you buy your beer, for example, in cans in cardboard boxes, and there is no system behind that makes you reusing your beverage container, and that's evolving, I would say.
It's a long way to go, and we've already come a long way. We're going to take a look at the slides you brought us in a second. Before that, obviously, you've been an expert in this field, also looking at design for some years now. Can you tell us about some reusable packagings or systems that you remember that you really liked or that were kind of a highlight for you?
Well, yeah, I'm following it up quite intensely. I have one example which really, makes my heart beating a bit faster. That's the loop system, where you have several containers to be reused. But there are also in e-commerce. I'm looking at Repack, I'm looking at Boomerang and Vital and Recap. It's all of them have their special moments where it's really great to see what's going on. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. We had Boomerang here with Jan Malte the other day, and also Hey Circle, which is also an e-commerce reusable packaging system. I think that's something, one area where the customers or me as an end consumer is not yet that familiar with these systems. Mm-hmm. Obviously in food it's a bit different. Let's take a look at the slides you brought us.
Yes, fine. Yeah, this is a very important slide. That's the waste hierarchy pyramid, and it shows the impact you can achieve by the different measures you take. So for sure, if you can avoid packaging, secondary packaging, for example, or you can offer your goods open without any packaging, fine. But it does not necessarily apply to all the categories. Imagine wet dog food or something like that. I don't want to see that in a package-free supermarket. I don't think that this would work. Or ice cream, it's difficult. But after avoid, reduce, you can reduce material, you can make the bottles thinner, you can make the cardboard thinner. This is also a strong, impactful tool. And then we already have reuse. So if we can extend the lifetime of a ready produced packaging with a lot of material inserted, with a lot of energy put into to make it a packaging, then it's really something where we can achieve for our environment, for the planet.
Tell us how design plays into this, because that's also the background you're coming from.
Well, I think companies should use us designers because we have the broader view. We are not limited to one industry, we're not limited to one material. We know maybe what's going on in the canned food business can be transferred into some other product categories. And this is a great opportunity brand owners as well as the industry should use. I'm working also together with packaging manufacturers, with material substrate suppliers, and here we also can achieve a lot together. It's working along the whole value chain. This is my message. We should team up. We should use our common knowledge to really make something happen.
I guess fairs like the Interpack and everyone coming together and networking are also very important with this mission or tip in mind.
It could be 4 weeks long, the Interpack, from my point of view. I need more time.
To check out every hall and every stand, I get that. Let's take a look at the next slide.
Yeah, it's a typical German thing, the Perlenflasche. This bottle was introduced in 1969 and you hardly find it in today's supermarkets because all the companies came up with their own marketing bottles with their logo like embedded or with some special shape or some special color. And that's a pity because with these pool bottles we have a big advantage. Imagine if you buy a beer in the very north of Germany, say Flensburg, and you buy a beer from Bavaria. So the bottle needs to be shipped all the way up, but also the empty bottle all the way back, because it can't be used in the northern parts and the other way around. So if we have a pool bottle, then the bottle which goes full up can be reused up there in the north.
Do you think there's a way to, or should there be a way to go back from these like multiple designed bottles?
I would appreciate that a lot if we can come to more standard solutions. And actually, from a design point of view, I see many opportunities also to brand one of these pool bottles in a proper way. We can see that in Germany there's a brand called Viva con Aqua, and they are using the Perlenflasche, and it looks fine.
Mm-hmm. I think it was also the one on the slide with the blue label.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up next?
It's not a typical German thing. We have a long history, but here you can see a friend of mine who has recently been in Vietnam. And this bottle is a refillable bottle. They ask $5 deposit, which is really massive money, a lot of money, but it works well. And it also shows it needs a different construction. It needs more material. It needs to be like more sustainable. It needs to sustain more, but it can be in the market for can be used 100 times or more, and still looks good.
Yeah. On some of the fairs I've been to last year, we have seen a lot of these aluminium bottles as like new packaging ideas, but I don't think I've seen them that much in the market in Germany yet.
It takes its time, I'm pretty sure, but we're on our way, and yeah, let's see what other countries are doing. I hope that we can have the dialogue and try to find better solutions for all of us.
Let's look at another one then.
Yeah, this chart shows a little bit on where it's already in place or evolving. Australia, for example, is on its way. Canada, the Nordics in Europe, Germany, also the rest of Europe are, pretty busy in coming up with reusable deposit systems for bottles, I must say. But it's also interesting to see that North America has no solutions, or hardly no solutions, except in California and on the coast lines in place right now. So there's a white spot on the map which we have to color.
Definitely. I was just thinking that obviously for developing countries, countries of the South maybe, they do have other issues when looking at packaging in general. Do you think it's like, it'll probably take some time there, but is it realistic that these systems will come into place there as well?
Yeah, maybe it's not $5 deposit for a bottle, but we have to support that. I mean, especially, sorry to say, but in those countries, we have all the plastic going into the oceans. And if we find solutions that this does not happen and that we can use other types of packaging, then I think it will be very good. And we have more to support that than,
Yeah. Looking at the whole world, not just one country. Yeah. Let's see the next slide then.
This is interesting. It's a startup from Hamburg, and they've transformed the deposit system for beverages into liquid soap products. They're not only limited to their own products, but they also open it as a platform for other brands like Barbour participated and some other more. And they're very well connected to retail. Bring it into our stores, and you can bring the bottle back, put it in the deposit machine, and get your money back. And it's a complete different story than to go to the store and refill it. I mean, you have residues of soap in these bottles. It's not really, the label does not look very proper maybe anymore. So I think this is the better way, and you don't need to destroy the glass bottle to recycle it, but you can reuse it.
Yeah, I think in cosmetics and everything, there are so many products and packagings where reusable systems would work and should be implemented.
Another good example, Häagen-Dazs, part of the Loop system, and that shows it's not only a container we're talking about, but it's packaging as a service. There is a digital infrastructure, there's a logistic infrastructure behind, there are many different people or organizations involved to help this system working, and Loop is one from TerraCycle from the US. I think they are doing very well. Well, they are in certain test markets. Maybe it also needs some time until the consumer is really, ready for it, let's say. But I think this is a good way. We have something similar here in Germany as well. A lot of startups doing the same story. But the thing is, you go into the store, you buy your stuff, you bring it home, and you bring the empty bottles, cans, whatever it is, back to the supermarket and get your money back. That's the big system, and we don't need further energy or material to be inserted.
I mean, we know that it already works in some ways with beverages and bottles, like you just said, so why not with other products?
Or with e-commerce packaging, as we can see on the next chart. That's a project I'm involved. I'm not the founder of this of the system, Wirkistekreis, but that's I know we had Boomerang here and some others, Send Me Pack. There are a couple of more, Repack, doing something similar. Here the difference is it's a standard cardboard box, but the main thing is the patented banderole going around the box. So the sensitive information, data from the former receiver of this box can be taken away without any glue residues, and so the box is more or less untouched with more or less no glue and can be reintroduced into the system and reused. And it's very easy to fold, as you've seen on the previous chart. So you just fold it together, bring it to the drop point in brick and mortar stores. We have partners, so we're talking to many partners. You have an app, and you get a incentive for taking part in the system. It means the extra mile. It means that you need to bring this here and the other package there. But I think it's worth doing it. And we know from the consumers that they are willing and that they are open to go this extra mile. And it's also attractive for the retailers. We're talking to the Ottos and Chibos and DMs in Germany. We're also open for other markets. It's not limited to Germany. And if we can really scale it up to be a bigger system, then there's a lot of impact, and it also means cheaper prices for the packaging for the retailers who are participating.
Yeah, I think you see here again how important this involvement of consumers is for these systems to work, and Yeah, then
here you can see this is also interesting. It's the banderole is not only the carrier for the sensitive information, but also the stage for the brands to play their brand. This is an example. It's not it's not a real case here, but we're talking to all these partners, and it's a good. It shows what you can do with it.
Again, a design decision, or making design possible, I guess.
Everything is possible.
I guess so. Do we have another slide? No?
I think that was it.
That was it. I do have some other questions, though, for you.
Go ahead. Hope I can answer them.
I bet you can. If we're looking into the future, do you have a vision for reusable packaging or reuse systems? How would maybe the perfect future look like?
Well, yeah, there some of the things I've already said come back and come together. So it's a little bit of a rat race right now. Everybody wants to be the first. Everybody wants to, implement a system that can be, that can be applied to other companies, other partners, other industries. So it's on the one hand side, the system that we are looking for that maybe all packages can be given back at the same point, so that you don't have to run to all the different supermarkets or retailers, but have one collection point. We're also doing that with reuse.me. We're trying to set up this system, but it's also, as I said, a matter of standards we need to achieve, and we hope to get more support from the EU, from the local governments to bring it up.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that new regulations or further regulations are necessary here as well?
Well, we're already on our way. I followed up the Boomerang talk. They also stated that, yeah, it's happening, but I think it's also needed, yeah. And I'm vice president of the epda, so we're also talking to these institutions, and we're also trying to push that from our perspective. And we're not only limited to talk to our members, the design agencies from all across Europe, but also to the industry and to the brand owners. We have a wide network, and I can just invite everybody here to come to have the dialogue with us, to bring in your wonderful ideas, your solutions, your materials, but also your knowledge, and you'll get a lot back, I can promise.
I was going to ask what people can expect when they come to you in the association, but you just answered that, I guess.
It's the dialogue they can expect on conferences, online things, so many opportunities to have the dialogue.
So everyone should try and find you here at the fair as well.
I'm always wearing this blue jacket. By the way, I have 6 of them, so you'll see me.
Easy to recognize. Uwe, thank you so much for being here and talking to us. It was very interesting.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting. Thanks for having me, and well, let's see each other in the future.
Yes.